2022 is coming to an end, and so on this week's installment of the Dad-Splanation Podcast, we're going to be talking about, this is going to be a special edition, actually. We're going to do a little self-reflection of what, some things that happened throughout the year at Dad-Splanation.com, and some goals for 2023. So hang in there, and let's get into it. Hey, what's happening? This is Isai Rodriguez, host of the Dad-Splanation Podcast, where I cater to the professional working man, 40 and above, who's looking to make positive changes to his health, lose weight, and become stronger overall through simple lifestyle changes. I'm here to share inspiration, tips, and proven lessons that I've personally learned and lived through my 40 plus years on this here beautiful blue planet. And listen, your health and fitness goals are easier to achieve than you might think. First and foremost, it's all about getting your mind straight right from the get-go. And so, I've got a freebie for you called the 10 Dad-Splanation Mind Hacks that'll help you whip your mind into shape so that you can turn around and whip your body into shape. If that sounds good to you, then get on over to podcast.dadsplanation.com/mindhacks right now to get your freebie today and start using these 10 hacks to exercise consistently and create the real and lasting results that you're truly after and that you absolutely deserve. That's podcast.dadsplanation.com/mindhacks. Again, that's podcast.dadsplanation.com/mindhacks. Be in the know starting right now. And so with all that said and done, let's get right into the show. A little tangled up here. The cable is I gotta fix my headset here. How is everybody? How are you guys out there tuning in? First of all, let me thank you for tuning in. And last episode, I don't know. I guess it kind of slipped my mind to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. So first of all, let me apologize for not wishing you that Merry Christmas. And secondly, let me officially wish you a very merry, happy, excellent Christmas, and a Happy New Year, because we're kind of in between Christmas and New Year's right now. And so, I don't know what happened. It kind of slipped my mind. I have so many things on my mind, so many deadlines, and my apologies. I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you're blessed. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Christmas. I hope Santa brought you everything that you wanted, everything that you desired. And I hope you take that good luck, that great energy, that beautiful health that the Lord has blessed you with. And I hope you take that into the new year and have a blessed New Year day. So, like I mentioned in the intro, this is going to be a special self-reflection and goals podcast episode. I decided to do something a little out of the ordinary, I suppose. I wanted to change it up a little, so I'm doing a little something special for 2022 going into 2023. And like first off, I'm officially ending the giveaway that I had going on. So I don't know if you guys noticed in the description of these episodes, I think it started back with episode 40 or so, around there. I started putting I put in a little blurb at the top of each description saying, hey, comment with your favorite, your favorite tip. So that you can be entered into a weekly giveaway. And I've given away quite a bit of product and some other goodies. And so for you guys that actually paid attention and entered and won, then congratulations. I've congratulated you before, but I am now congratulating and thanking you for taking the initiative to to take a little time out of your day to comment and leave your, your ideas, your comments, things like that. So I really appreciate that. I really, it brings me a lot of insight, a lot of, I like to, as they say, keeps you with your finger on the pulse, to kind of, you feel what's going out there. You know what people are struggling with. So your feedback is really, 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 really valuable to me. So I really appreciate that. And I hope you guys enjoyed those freebies that I gave you. So thanks again. So anyway, let's keep it moving. Yo, have you guys heard? This is just a quick, like I was going through. I told you last time I have like a couple of feeds that kind of just bring headlines to me, basically, you know? So anyway, one of the headlines that I came across was the okaying of lab meat by the FDA. So I don't know if you guys heard about this. The Food and Drug Administration, they say that lab grown meat is safe to eat, you know, for a lack of better terms. So there's there's some meat startups, and we're not talking about what's that big popular one, Beyond Meat, Beyond Beef or something like that. Like we're talking literally getting like I think they started off with like DNA samples of cow and chicken and stuff like that, and they were able to, through the process and magic of STEM technology, STEM research, and all that good stuff that they're doing in the labs these days, they were able to grab that DNA. Those I haven't really read much into it, but I think it's DNA, or it could be like an actual culture sample or something like that. They got some kind of sample. They did some STEM magic on it, and they have been able to cultivate actual meat in a lab. And now, you know, this is nothing new. This has kind of been going on for I don't know if it's a decade now, but it's been going on for a while. But what is new is that the FDA has officially given it the green light. You know what I mean? So these meat startups, you know, they're raising all this kind of venture capital funding money. And so, you know, they've got a lot going on over there. So I don't know. What do you guys think about this cultivated meat in a test tube in a lab? Like, you guys, would you actually, because from what I've heard, people have tried like burgers from this beef that was made in a lab, and they said that they really could not tell the difference between actual beef and the beef that was developed, for lack of better terms, it was put together in a lab. And a few of the people, they actually picked out the lab meat as being more tasty and more, you know, more juicy, you know, more flavorful. So that was interesting to hear. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, would you actually give that a shot? You know what I mean? I mean, I think I would definitely try it at least before I can say yay or nay, you know, but you know, that's just me. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what you would do. How do you feel about that? Or if you even knew about it, you know, I don't know. This might be totally new to you, but it's definitely a thing. So anyway, moving on. But yeah, that being said, again, I hope you guys are doing awesome out there. I hope you're in good health. I hope your families are doing great. I hope you guys had a great, wonderful Christmas with your family. I hope you guys were able to eat a lot, you know, and set yourself up for the new year in style, and you know, let's get rocking and rolling for the new year. But speaking of the new year, so I have some, you know, some self-reflections and some goals that I wanted to talk about this year. And this is, I guess this episode may be more for me than anything. Just kind of putting it out there, you know. I mean, this past year, and I'm just kind of going off the cuff right now. I got I have like an outline that I put together of things that I wanted to talk about, but you know, I don't even know if I'll get through all this, and you know, how much content for each bullet here that I have, how much I'm going to come up with on the fly. But yeah, we had a pretty good year here at Casa de Rodriguez, and more specifically with the podcast here, you know, Dad-Splanation and Miss Iron Mom Fitness. And that's the first thing that I wanted to talk about. I mean, I mentioned it earlier, or I should say last episode, and I think I may have mentioned it in previous episodes. I don't remember exactly how much detail I gave, but you know, this year we launched an online platform. You know, me and the wife, we got together, had tons and tons of meetings to iron out details of, you know, different types of workouts that we wanted to, or more her than me, but, you know, I was giving her feedback of what kind of like a guy's feedback or a man's feedback, just kind of like, yeah, we can add this in there to kind of attract the guys and get them on board, things like that, to make it more manly. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I think we're on the right path. And, so we had to, in the process, we had a bunch of meetings. And when I say meetings, like we literally, like our first meeting, quote unquote, our first meeting was to discuss how often and what time of the week or the day we were going to meet up to talk about, the progress, so that was in and of itself the very first meeting that we had. We had to iron out details as far as, because she has her schedule, I have my schedule, and we have other prior obligations with the son and family, things like that. So we had to kind of figure out, okay, where can we fit this in? So literally that was one of the first meetings that we had. But mostly, after that, it was kind of, we were basically brainstorming. These were like brainstorming sessions, where she kind of explained her vision of what she wanted. And I basically translated that into the technical portion, so I took what she wanted or what she envisioned, and I made it to give it like a magical feel to it. I built it, you know what I mean? She told me what she wanted, and I brought it to life, basically. So a couple of things that, that she has there, she has a couple of things actually. One is dance fitness, some workouts. So think of it like it's basically a fusion of fitness and dance. So it's like dance moves wrapped around, or I should say fitness moves like squats and jump squats and, back step lunges, punches, up, like all that good stuff, crunches, high knees, things like that. It's all wrapped up into a dance format. So basically taking, and we don't like to use this analogy, but it's the analogy that most people out there can understand. And it's this. She took Zumba to the next level. She 10x'd Zumba. You know what I mean? It's like Zumba on steroids, So again, we don't like to compare ourselves to Zumba because I keep saying we because I feel pretty vested after all the work that I've put in and all the meetings and whatnot. But yeah, we don't like to use that term Zumba because, we don't want to be seen as Zumba because it's not. Like I said, it's 10xing Zumba. It's Zumba on steroids. But yeah, that aside, that being said, we have a weekly live Zoom session on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern. And we're also building up an on-demand library. So we have a couple of videos that are on demand. And we do that weekly live Zoom session. And if you sign up for the on-demand, then you'll have access to the choreo breakdowns where Fatima goes into detail of each track basically that she uses for these fitness sessions. And, she just breaks them down, explains all the steps, why she chose them, the purpose of them, the benefits, things like that. It's really good. It's really technical. So yeah, if you sign up for the on-demand, you get access to all that too. So when you're doing the dance fitness videos, you can easily follow along, the steps ahead of time, and all is good. Aside from the dance fitness, we also have what we've labeled as Burn, IMF Burn. And these are basically strength and conditioning training classes. So strength and conditioning, well, these are two pillars when you're building a solid foundation for your fitness health. You need strength, you need muscle strength, and you need that cardio conditioning, that cardio endurance. And like conditioning kind of encompasses quite a bit of things, everything from like balance and posture to cardiovascular health. So a couple of things in there, but they're all needed, they're pillars to that foundation of fitness health, So right now we only have 3 on-demand videos. We just threw one up recently, last week, I believe. And so that one went up and that's live, and it's great workout. It's like a 35 minute session of pretty intense high interval training or high intensity interval training. And we put we put a nice driving track underneath, so you have a little music going. Keeps you driving, keeps you going, keeps you in it when you think you can't make it anymore, and you need to go a little harder. You have that music to keep you pumping. So we originally wanted to do the same with the Dance Fitness, or as we did with Dance Fitness, to do the one live Zoom session per week and then the on demand. But our schedules became super hectic, and we're still working on that. But it's a work in progress. So hopefully we'll get that, fit that session into the schedule, and you all can benefit from that. There's also like an accountability mentorship program where she'll talk with you to find out what your goals are, and then puts together a specific workout plan just for you. And then there's also, with this whole accountability, there's a subsequent follow-up check-in calls to see how you're progressing. And there's also a nutritional consult upgrade to this, so that, if you really like to take it to the next level, you'll get a nutritional consult from a certified fitness nutritionist. So not just any type of nutritionist, but one that specializes in fitness nutrition, so that you can pair up your fitness goals or your workout with your nutrition and get, maximum bang for your buck. So I think that's an awesome little program that she's offering. So yeah, if you're interested, get over to missironmomfitness.com and take a look around. She also has a one-on-one live Zoom coaching, and it's basically just what it sounds like, So after a phone consult to talk about your goals and where you are right now and where it is you want to be fitness wise, then you and her can work out a time for training. And these are, these are one-on-one live Zoom coaching where she walks you through different exercises. So she'll put together a workout for you based on your goals and what you're trying to achieve. And then she sees you through the workout, make sure you're actually doing it right. So great little program there. I would highly suggest you check it out. Just poke around, see what, it's probably not for you, but it's another option for those that are super busy and can't get to the gym at some time. I think it's a great little program. I may be biased. I don't know. But what else? Another goal that we had, or another achievement that we've accomplished this year over here at the Dad-Splanation Podcast is, we started a new business venture with some buddies over the summer. I was just reaching out, touching base with some of my old buddies, and I find out that, one of them has partnered up with some entrepreneurs, and a lot of them, they've been able to walk away from their day jobs with a nice little amount of cash in the bank. So naturally, when I found out, I wanted to know what they were doing, and more importantly, how can I get a piece of that action? So I started, long story short, I started chasing it, almost hounding them every day. I was like, hey, come on, let me know. Let me, I'll do whatever it is that you want. I'll do, whatever it is that you need. You know what I'm saying? I just want to know what it is that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, long story short, as I said, I was able to build up a little case for myself, and had some doors open to me and the wife to help us do the same. And now we're kind of on the same path to walk away from our day jobs, So because we're doing this, we have a lot of online things that we're working on, but we, in the interim, up until we build it to the point where we feel like, okay, this is really going to sustain the life that we're looking for, so we're almost there, we're getting to that point. And hopefully, right now it looks like, based on how things are going right now, looks like we're on track to step away in the next year or so, so I'd love nothing more than to bring each and every one of my buddies along with me. But the reality is that not everyone has that vision, not everyone cares to make money. And I get that, money doesn't solve every problem. I get that, trust me. But it sure as hell makes things a lot easier. It makes life a lot simpler. You know what I mean? But moving along, And to touch upon something more health related, another thing that we did this year was, our amazing Vegas trip where we learned so much about fitness and health and wellness. Wow. I still, I'm still reflecting back on a lot of the freebies and all the information that I got from that fitness convention. Learned, different breathing techniques to help you with all different types of conditions. Learned why it's so important to take care of your feet and some simple stretches and exercise that can help with that. I had a kick-ass workout session with the one and only Billy Blanks, creator of the Taibo workouts, 7th degree Taekwondo black belt. I don't know what other accolades I can throw to this guy. He's a legend in the fitness industry. But yeah, had a great, picked up a lot of information during that trip, and I'm still, this trip was back in August, I think it was July, August, and I'm still digesting a lot of that information that I took in. There was so much that was given in, and then there was a lot of what do they call it? Backstage type access to, so we got a link that had like all the presentation slides for every single presentation. So I only went to a handful of them because I only had so much time, but I can go back now, and I've been going through all of these slides and these audios and videos and all these trainings, and wow, so much good stuff. So, I've been incorporating that slowly into different episodes ever since, and I will continue to, pepper you with different insights that I got directly from there. And I may, I'll let you know here and there when I share something that specifically, where I specifically learned that from the, that convention. And hopefully this coming year, I'll make it, I'm planning on making it back there again, because I had so much fun. Learned so much about the human body and different fitness tracks and all that stuff. So great time. Hoping to do that again. So yeah. Also this year I started reconnecting with a bunch of old buddies. I think I started mentioning that, and had a lot of shocking updates as I go through my, my phone contacts and through friends on social media, everything from tragic deaths to new family additions. For me, it's been a roller coaster ride of emotions, to be honest with you. I've never actually done this where I'm actually reaching out to everybody on my friends list, and I have a couple of social media accounts. So I'm going through each and every one. I'm literally connecting with everybody. And, I'm just going through like a little, I wouldn't call it spring cleaning, because it's going to take longer than expected. I have quite a few, online friends. So anyway, hopefully I'm going to get to everybody soon and, reconnect it. And because I mean, if we're connected on social media and we're not being social, then what's the point? You know what I mean? But, anyway, so yeah, that was kind of, those are like the biggest highlights for this year at the Dad-Splanation Podcast. And, taking and building upon that, I'm going to, I'd like to accomplish a few things with the podcast next year. And I'm taking this episode and I'm going to, I'm putting it out there basically. And hopefully by this time next year, hopefully I would have hit some of these goals, but I want to put it out there and hopefully get to what it is that I'm looking, for these goals. So one of the things I want to try and add, or I want to focus more on the mental health throughout the podcast. I want to inject a little bit more mental health tips and things like that. I mentioned this on last week's episode. It's crazy to think how much we're suffering from a mental health crisis out there, in the U.S. and in the world in general. Just everything that's going on, everything that you hear, everything that you see, everything that you experience. we're only seeing the high level, like the flashy names. You know what I mean? Like we're not seeing all the small town stories. We're only catching the big names, the big news stories. Again, like with all the flashy names, the people that we already know that you know, those are the ones that are making the headlines. But how many small people are suffering, you know, from mental health problems? You know what I mean? Like I'm sure there's someone right now, maybe even listening to this, that is going through some kind of mental crisis. And it's for you and everyone else that I want to add or inject a little bit more tips to address this mental health problem. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if we're not all there in the brain, in the head, like if we're not there, then, you know, everything else really just doesn't matter, in my opinion. You know, like because that's where it all starts. It's in your mind. You know what I mean? So if it's not straight, if it's not right, then you know, you're not going to be able to do anything else. You know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, we'll see where that goes. Hopefully, you know, I have a couple of ideas of what to target and what to talk about, but I may need to build that up a bit more. So we'll see where that goes. Also, another goal that I have is, you know, I would like, you know, to start bringing on guests onto the show. So, you know, I've been asked by a lot of people in the past who I've mentioned, you know, that I have this podcast. You know, I've mentioned it to them, and you know, they say things like, you know, or how they feel that, you know, being on a guest or being a guest on a podcast would be awesome. Like they have that desire to be on the podcast, but they just don't want to start their own podcast, you know, but they would, you know, they wouldn't mind being a guest. And so that got my gears turning, you know. I started thinking, you know, why not interview them for my podcast? And everyone wins. You know what I mean? They get exposure. I get content for my podcast, and all of you out there get value. That right there is the very definition of free enterprise. It's a business model where everyone benefits out of something. You know, we all come together and we build something, or we put something together that everybody benefits from, you know. So if I can be a facilitator and help do my part to push the economy forward, then hey, why not? You know, I will do my part and hopefully help this beautiful nation, this beautiful country, push past this whole economic downturn and offset some of these tech layoffs that we've been seeing throughout the year, you know. But yeah, those are my high level goals. And one other one that's going to be that I want to keep at the forefront, you know, I would say in the background, but that kind of degrades it a bit. So I'm going to say in the forefront. And, you know, that's, you know, I want to stay focused on the family and being the best husband, the best father that I can be. So everything I mentioned earlier, I don't want any of that to get in the way of being a great father, of being a great husband, a great provider. And you know what? I'm not perfect. I know that. But I try to be a little bit better with every day that passes, you know, and that's all you can do is be a little bit better today than you were yesterday. And tomorrow, your goal should be to be a little bit better than today, you know? So that's basically it. That's what I've done this year and where I want to be or where I want to go next year. And who knows, you know, I don't know how much of these goals I'll accomplish towards the next, but towards this time of the year, next year, you know, I don't know. But I do know that if I don't set the goals, if I don't set anything to aim for, you know, if I don't have a destination in mind, then what I do know is that I'll never get there, right? It's like a GPS with no destination. Have you ever picked up your phone or pulled up the GPS and you just look at it and start playing with it? Don't select any destination. Just look at it, you know, play around with the map, press a couple of buttons, a couple of options, things like that. But don't put any destination in there, you know? Think about it. How useful is that GPS with no destination, with no direction? You know what I mean? You're really not going to get very far. You know, I'll just be totally honest with you. You know, it's pretty useless, you know, to be honest. A GPS with no coordinates, no directions, no destination, nothing like that. It's, I don't know. What is it? A map? an interactive map at best, that just kind of sits there. But yeah, you need goals, basically, a destination. You need to know where you're going, or at least the right direction that you want to be headed, so that you can start heading in that direction. And then at some point, perhaps, the destination appears. Maybe you catch a road sign or something like that. Like, oh, that seems like a nice place to be. Let's head over there. You know what I mean? But yeah. So don't go around life like a GPS without coordinates. Punch in some destination, punch in some goals, and figure out where it is that you want to go. And then get in that vehicle and get yourself there. That's that's all I can say about that. But that's it. Hopefully next year, I will have hit all of these goals, and I can, maybe this time next year, my self-reflection and goals for 2024, I hope I can report back and say that, hey, I've got all this done, and, we are rocking and rolling. We are making super progress. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing great, because with all that said and done, that's it, you guys. That's my show for today. I hope you found some valuable information here, and if nothing else, I hope I've entertained you for a few minutes and was able to bring you a little manly sunshine to your day. Thanks for taking some time out of your day to listen to me. It's very much appreciated. And look, your health and fitness goals are easier to achieve than you might think. First and foremost, it's all about getting your mind straight right from the get-go. And so I've got a freebie for you called the 10 Dad-Splanation Mind Hacks that'll help you whip your mind into shape so that you can turn around and whip your body into shape. If that sounds good to you, then head on over to podcast.dadsplanation.com/mindhacks to get your freebie today and start using these 10 hacks to exercise consistently and create the real and lasting results that you're truly after and that you absolutely deserve. That's podcast.dadsplanation.com/mindhacks. Again, that's podcast.dadsplanation.com/mindhacks. Be in the know starting right now. Until our next chat, take care now. Bye.